Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and I am here for a discussion video. Now for this discussion video, I'm going to be talking about the metal subgenre metalcore. Now, this is mainly going to be a discussion about newer metalcore and pretty much why I believe that metalcore as a whole has really went downhill. And this is mainly as far as newer metalcore goes. And when I say newer metalcore, I'm talking mainly bands that formed in like 2006, 2007, that time. That's pretty much, I guess, my definition of like the newer metalcore that I'm talking about. And in my opinion, was really when the subgenre really went downhill. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this because this subgenre isn't really what it used to be. And we all know that I think metalcore is probably one of the least liked subgenres in the metal world. Especially by the metal elitists. The guys that mostly listen to the more extreme stuff usually, when they think of metalcore, they think, oh, that's just for the weaklings that can't take our music or something like that. But you see, I don't take it like that, because as I've said before, I'm not looking to get into the heaviest music possible just to, fulfill my metalhead journey or something. That's just a dumb argument to make, I think, because I'm not really looking to see how heavy I can go. I mean, if there's, a heavy band that I like, then so be it. But, like, it's not going to be, like, a goal or something. So, yeah. But, we all know that metalcore does have that reputation of being that subgenre of metal that the emos listen to. Like, oh, metalcore, that's just what the emos listen to when they want to listen to metal. And I would agree with that as far as newer metalcore goes. Now, as you guys know, I'm not opposed to all metalcore. I do like the Pioneers and some of the early metalcore bands. Bands like As I Lay Dying, Demon Hunter, Killswitch Engage, August Burns Red, Trivium, All That Remains, mainly those bands. So yeah, as you guys know, I do like my metalcore because it was basically my first subgenre of metal that I really ever gotten into. And I know some people can relate to that. I know there's a lot of people that say that whenever they first got into metal, metalcore was their gateway. I know in some cases new metal was, and even some thrash metal even, but metalcore was pretty much my origin. So don't take this as me just hating on the entire subgenre. Just take it as me hating on the modern or newer metalcore bands. And I think it is pretty obvious that it has gotten worse. And you can tell that metalcore has really, I guess, gotten edgy over time. Now, the only band that I feel like I can make an exception for as far as newer metalcore goes is the band We Came as Romans. Now, of course, that does have to do with some nostalgic factor because, well, they were one of my first bands going into college a few years ago, so they do have that value for me. But if I threw away the nostalgia and if they were a band that I were to just discover now, I probably wouldn't feel the same way as I do. And they're not really a band that I listen to all that much anyway. But the only reason I make an exception for them is because of that nostalgic factor. But like I said, that's really all like the nostalgia factor sometimes does, maybe for some people. But as far as like newer metalcore as a whole, there's just, like I said, it's gotten edgier and emo over time. And the lyrical content, I think, has gotten even worse as far as metalcore goes as well. Because I felt like metalcore in the past, touched on good, like, more personal topics and, like, some, I guess, more relatable, so to speak, topics in some degree. As far as, like, newer metalcore, it mainly, like, covers, like, relationships, how the lead singer can't live without this girl in his life or whatever. It just comes off as just very lame, I think. And, when you really do think about it, newer metalcore is basically pop in metal form, you could say. Especially considering, the vocals as well. Like, you think about the clean vocals. Some bands that come to mind are like Attack Attack, for example. Like the clean vocals in them like almost sound like pop. Like if you took away the guitars and the drums and the scream vocals even, and just had the clean vocals, and you didn't know what genre that it was coming from, you know, I wouldn't blame someone for guessing that it came from pop or some boy band or something. You know, considering that, you know, a lot of clean vocals in metalcore today are very auto-tune, and it's just, I don't know if they're trying to be edgy or like trying to innovate the subgenre or something, but it's just not good. It's just plain out not good. But yeah, like I said, there's this, you know, bands like that and like Asking Alexandria, Attack Attack, Attila even, those are the bands are the reason that, you know, metalcore is pretty much dissed on as much as it is. But I feel like a lot of people need to realize that, you know, this, like, metalcore isn't what it used to be, you know. Think about, you know, some of the pioneers, like As I Lay Dying and All That Remains, you know. You wouldn't really consider those bands emo, so to speak. So, you know, it's just a ridiculous thing, I think. And, you know, I think it's pretty much clear that metalcore has really gotten worse. And it's gotten more edgy, it's gotten more emo, and, you know, like, they're trying to cater to that audience, that, like, emo audience. You know, the guys that, like, use hair straighteners, pretty much, it is basically what it comes down to. Newer metalcore, it's a big thumbs down for me, but I do like older metalcore, you know, like I said, pretty much the pioneers. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say, but if you, I mean, if you're looking to get into metalcore or something, like if you're interested in this subgenre or something, I would just recommend going for like the older bands, the pioneers, you know, bands that formed in the early 2000s. Because bands that are forming today in metalcore, it seems like they're lacking the inspiration that the previous bands had. But with that said, guys, I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys agree that metalcore has really gotten worse and has really gone downhill? Please let me know. And I know that I said I would do more reviews. I hope to do more reviews soon. I am probably going to be reviewing an album by Fate's Warning and an album by Immortal, two bands and albums that were recommended to me to check out. So I'll probably get around to those at some point soon. But let me know what you guys think of this discussion overall. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Take care.